So we've got this fascinating shift in the AI market, moving from all that intensive training R&D to the inference stage where actual monetization happens, right?
Absolutely. It's like we're shifting gears from building the engine to actually driving the car, isn't it?
Exactly. And when you look at the market, the whole AI bubble narrative seems more like a misinterpretation. I mean, it's not just haphazard hype, it's a very calculated period of capital intensive investment in foundational tech.
Yeah, right. And that investment is literally in the hundreds of billions. That's no small change.
Yeah, it really is. And analysts like Beth Kindig point out that this spending is crucial to set up the inference phase, the stage when companies start deploying these models at scale, generating recurring revenue.
I see. So the current R&D is more of a required build-up rather than a sign of an overheated bubble.
Exactly, exactly. It's more of an infrastructure investment, fundamentals driving the valuations instead of just speculative frenzy. And speaking of fundamentals, the analysis on valuation multiples, like with NVIDIA, is really telling.
Right? Yeah, Nvidia's case is interesting. Despite the stock hopping up, its earnings growth has kept pace, meaning their valuation remains comparatively healthy.
Absolutely. And then there's the key transition from training, where all the heavy R&D work happens, to inference, which is where the revenue starts flowing. It's basically the turning point for making those enormous R&D investments worthwhile.
True. So, the real investor opportunity is not just in these big names like Google and OpenAI, but also deep in the tech stack, like specialized silicon and the power infrastructure needed to run all this stuff.
Right on. That's a major takeaway. Investors can look at enabling infrastructures, such as specialized chips for both general purpose tasks and more niche workloads. And importantly, the power side. Because apparently, AI is now more power constrained than compute constrained.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, it's sort of ironic that after spending billions on GPUs, now the bottleneck is making sure there's adequate power to keep them running. Is that a fair assessment?
Spot on. It's like having a race car with all the speed in the world, but then running out of fuel halfway through the race. And that's why I say companies like Bloom Energy, with their on site power solutions, are stepping into this picture.
Interesting point there. But don't you think focusing too heavily on power could sideline the importance of chip innovation? It seems both are indispensable.
True, true. I mean, they're both fundamental. The chip market is expected to bifurcate, with giants like NVIDIA dominating the general purpose side, and more specialized chips, like Google's TPU, emerging for specific applications. It's a two-pronged evolution.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the competitive battle between Google and OpenAI. The analysis suggests a both winners perspective, right? Where rather than a win-lose dynamic, both companies benefit as their LLMs become the default layers for emerging applications.
Yes, that's the idea. Both players are positioned to capture a huge slice of the growing inference-based market. OpenAI, for instance, with its crazy monetization speed from 0 to 20 billion, and the projection to hit hundreds of billions later this decade.
It's certainly a transformative time for AI as a whole. And with the clear timeline pointing to around 2026 for the full inference wave, investors have an interesting roadmap ahead.
For sure, it's all about timing, recognizing that moment when the move from R&D to solid revenue becomes irreversible. In essence, it's a shift from theoretical advancement to practical profit-generating technology.
Absolutely. I love how this deep dive really connects the dots from hefty R&D investments to real actionable infrastructure plays that underpin our AI-driven future.
Right, it's like preparing the battlefield before the big battle. And once the inference stage kicks in, the payoff could be enormous.
Yeah, exactly. All in all, these insights remind us that the market isn't just about flashy headlines, but very strategic, fundamentals-based moves that lay the groundwork for tomorrow's tech landscape.
Yep, and that's what makes this space so compelling as we move forward. The next frontier is not just AI itself, but this entire ecosystem supporting it.
Exciting times ahead indeed. Thanks for the rundown. It's a lot to chew on, but definitely energizing.
Absolutely. Thanks for the chat, and here's to watching these market evolutions unfold in real time.